Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am not here with Geeky Sparkles in this video. I don't think she cares about Doctor Who that much other than to make fun of it and where it's at right now, but we're going to talk about the latest episode and the ratings, and something very weird has happened. The last episode actually had more viewers than the previous 2 weeks. It's like everybody kind of came back. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know if this is legitimate interest or renewed interest in Doctor Who. If people heard that maybe the show's not that terrible, I don't know, and they want to come back, or maybe it's the BBC just trying to make sure that they get another season, that they get to work with Disney for another season. I have no idea what's going on. Maybe it was raining outside, nobody could touch grass. I don't know how the weather is over there in the UK, but we're gonna talk about this. The ratings are still low, but they're not at rock bottom. So now we're talking like a D- instead of an F. But some people actually like this last episode. I haven't watched it. I'm going to tell you the truth. I have not watched it. I don't think I plan to watch it because I don't want to dip back into Doctor Who. I'm kind of just objectively watching the numbers and seeing if other people go back, see if it's safe to go back into the water. And, you know, I got fooled a couple of times before. And this is coming from a longtime fan of the show. And I'm like, why get invested? Why get reinvested if the rug is going to be pulled out from underneath us again? And honestly, a musical number is all it took for me to be like, there's no way in hell I'm checking this out at all. I'm not interested in Doctor Who, the musical. But let's talk about this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Go out to Indiegogo. I am going to offer you a second chance to secure a copy of Shadowbinders Volume 3, which is going to be printed later this year, probably this summer. I think it's going to be a couple months later than we thought because of production time, but it will be definitely out this year. And also, if you want to pick up a copy of 1 and 2, if you haven't done so already, we have to reprint those books. It'll actually be our second reprinting, so our third printing of the Shadowbinders hardcovers. For those of you who don't know, it's a steampunk fantasy romantic comedy. This is a comic strip that we were doing online for a number of years, and now we are putting it in book form. And going forward, they're probably going to be books, because webcomics, you can't make any money on webcomics. You can't even pay the bills, doing webcomics. So we got to sell books. That's what we're going to do. So check it out on Indiegogo. I'll put the link. I'll pin it in the comments. Yeah, let's talk about this. So the ratings were better than rock bottom, which is good, I guess, if you're working on the show and you're hoping for another season. I know Russell T Davies has hinted that the future is not secured yet, that Disney bankrolled seasons 1 and 2 of Doctor Who. We don't know if there's going to be a third. It depends on the price. It depends on the cost. You know, it depends on whether or not they're getting a return on their investment. And I don't know if Disney is, and Disney's cutting back. I mean, Disney's cutting stuff that they've done. So I don't know if they're going to, whip out the checkbook for Doctor Who if they're not getting a return on that, because they might be like, well, all that money that we're spending on Doctor Who, we could be making our own shows or are producing a whole bunch of crappy reality shows or something that would actually net us as many views. And that's kind of how these companies think. So yeah, here we go. Episode 1 of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor Who had overnight of 2.6 million, and then it dropped off. Episode 2 was 2.4. Episode 3 was 2.04. Now this is weird. Episode 4 was 2.62 million watching overnight. So it could be, I'm being objective here. It could be that people just got the memo that they changed, I guess they changed the time of Doctor Who for overnight. It could be that the word of mouth on the last episode was good, but I heard a lot of people didn't like it. It could just be that there's nothing else going on, so we'll watch Doctor Who, whatever. Now, the reaction to this one, I have actually heard from people that were against the new season. They said it's actually pretty good. They said this new episode was actually pretty good. I am seeing some people saying that, it's a depressing and pointless journey. And one site said it was the new Love and Monsters, but it did look significantly darker than previous episodes. And I mean, I have to admit, this to me looked like a Capaldi episode, and I freaking love Capaldi. Like, I love Peter Capaldi as Doctor Who. He was my favorite of the new Who doctors. I just think it's a shame that his material was not consistently good I would say about a third of his episodes were amazing. You had another third that were so-so, and then you had a third that were just not good at all. But you go back to David Tennant, even the first couple seasons, and they were kind of a mixed bag too. So, sometimes it takes a while. Whatever. I just wish the Doctor would settle on a costume already. Like, he's always wearing something different, and that annoys me because he's got to have an iconic costume, right? But anyway, so some people say it wasn't that good. We got Bleeding Cool out here saying that it means a lot to the gay community, this episode. Of course it does. It's Russell T Davies, and they've made it very clear. But that's, as long as it's entertaining, I don't give a crap. Screen Rant said Doctor Who season 14 just repeated the same story 2 episodes in a row. Yeah. But so after last week's dismal ratings, things are looking a little bit better for them, but it's still not good. So let's just put this in perspective, because that's what you're going to hear about. You're going to hear Doctor Who is fine. Everything's fine. The viewers are coming back. I personally think this is going to be like a one-off. It's never going to come back to what it was. I think a lot of people have checked out from this show. This is coming from Cosmic Book News. He's calling it woke Doctor Who versus Doctor Who, or Disney's. I call it Disney's Doctor Who, but that's okay. Woke Doctor Who. Best ratings for Millie Gibson episode, 600K. More fans tune in. All the fans that left last week came back in full force, according to Matt McGloin. What happened? That is a good question. I don't know what happened. I mean, it's still not good. I mean, I'm going to be honest. It's like I said, you're hovering around a D- now versus an F, but at least you're kind of sort of passing. But I don't know what the expectation is to greenlight another season of Doctor Who, because we did this video the other day. And it's very interesting how companies think, because the stuff takes a long time to happen, right? Square Enix said that their yardstick, their measurement for whether or not they invested their money wisely on a AAA game is, could we have plowed that $100 or $200 million into the stock market and got more of a return in the last 5 years than we got on this game? And that's kind of how they look at it. And I have to wonder with Disney and the BBC, if they had put their money in the stock market, or FTX as Disney is wont to do, I guess, would we have gotten more of a return on our investment? And that might be it. It might be that, it bounces back, but it might not be good enough. I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. Woke Doctor Who sees a big rebound in ratings thanks to episode 4, 73 Yards, which focuses on Ruby Sunday, played by Millie Gibson, who's actually leaving the series. They announced that she was leaving the series before she even started the series, which I thought was hella weird. I thought that was very weird. Following last week's lowest rated episode ever in the entire 60-year history of Doctor Who, which saw 600,000 fans exit after the first 2 episodes, those fans returned in full force to watch the series give Millie Gibson her moment outside the Doctor's Ncuti Gatwa. So they do this a lot. They do a lot of like Doctor Light episodes, which sometimes I like. It depends on the companion, if I like the companion or not. But sometimes I really don't like the companion, so whatever. The best ratings so far this season. The UK overnight ratings reveal that 2.62 million viewers tuned in, which is the best ratings this season, but still should be pointed out it's really, really low compared to previous seasons. It's not good. I mean, it's better than the worst case scenario, but it's still very, very not good. Millie Gibson is departing Doctor Who, and they already have, Vrada Sethu? I've seen her before. I've seen her and stuff. I guess she was in Andor. I didn't watch Andor. People said it was good. That's another one, like, the goodwill gets spent on these shows, doesn't it? So when something good actually comes out. Now, I've heard from multiple people that they thought Andor was actually very good, and it was actually the best Disney Star Wars series so far. Again, that's just an opinion based on people I've talked to that are old heads that are like, yeah, this is like proper Star Wars, right? And not fan fiction. But the goodwill's been spent. I got burnt on Boba and I got burnt on Obi-Wan. So I didn't go back. Season 3 of The Mandalorian looked like a joke to me. I didn't go back. I didn't watch Andor, and I forgot it existed. And I think that's kind of what happens. I think it's with Doctor Who. Like, even if the show as cringy as the musical episode was, even if they course correct, even if they kind of try to bring this show back up to snuff, right? So many people have dipped out and so many people have moved on that I don't know if it's going to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are good comic books out there. There are good comic books coming out from Marvel and DC, but so many people have moved on already that they're not going to give them a chance. And that's it. Like, once that goodwill is spent, once people move on to something else, once that habit has been broken, it's very, very hard to get them back. It's very hard to get them back. Millie Gibson posted about the episode. She said that she liked it because it was her episode. It was about, but here's the thing. Let's talk about this. This is the ratings. This is 2023, which McGloin does bring up. It's not good. The special one, which was David Tennant, did 5 million, which is low for David Tennant. Special 2 did a little bit less than that because they kind of dragged David Tennant in the first one. And then the last special, which was a regeneration episode. These are overnight numbers, by the way. I don't think this is consolidated, but these are overnights. The last special did even less than that, and that was introducing a new Doctor. The Christmas special did do significantly better, but as people have told me, the Christmas specials usually do, because apparently people just leave the BBC on all day and just watch whatever comes on. They just like let it run. We kind of do that over here. I know in the Netherlands, now this is a total side tangent here, but in the Netherlands, they watch the Donald Duck Christmas special. They watch, because Donald Duck is huge, and there's like a Disney Christmas special. They watch it every year. That's like their Rudolph. And I used to work on the Duck comics, so that was like a bit of trivia. It's like, oh yeah, it's like everybody watches this special over here. And so maybe it's like that. Maybe Doctor Who, even bad Doctor Who, it's a Christmas tradition, so you watch it. 2024. Episode 1, 2.6 million. Episode 2, 2.4 million. Episode 3, 2.04 million. That was a Moffat episode. And now we're back to 2.62. So I don't know what's going on, guys. I do think Disney has more influence over this show than we were led to believe. Moffat's trying to dismiss it. Stephen Moffat said he doesn't think Disney influences the show at all. He said, Russell will give you a more complete answer, but I find none at all. The notes we got from Disney were all good, and they were not trying to impose a Disneyfication on Doctor Who whatsoever. I never heard one word of that. Never. I don't know how many episodes he's doing this season. I think it's just one, but who knows? And I'm pretty confident that's what Russell would tell you. No, actually, Russell said that Disney has given them notes. And that, I'm sorry, but the musical numbers, to me, that is cringy as fuck. That is Disney. That feels very, very Disney. Unless Russell just likes show tunes, which, he probably does. I don't know. They know that Doctor Who is a particular kind of show. It's that show that you've frightened your kids with, and it's got to be that. It's got to go on being that. So I don't know, guys. We'll see what the long-term future is. I don't know if Disney is going to invest any more money in this. That's the thing, because apparently they've already wrapped production on it. They officially wrapped filming, so I guess it would be season 15. Is this a reboot or not? I'm confused. So yeah, they're halfway through it. They're already wrapping it. 15th Doctor's gonna have 2 companions in Star Wars. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get more or not. I don't know if this is going to be the end of Doctor Who or not, or if it's going to go dormant, or if it's going to go back to the BBC and they're going to, stick him, her, they, them on Earth because it's cheap. I don't know, but I don't think that they're getting the return on the investment that they were hoping for, because those numbers are not good. They're not good. They're really not good. So, gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We'll talk later.